Yes, guys, welcome back to the Hezron Springer Show. This is episode 8, and this is going to be a mad one because Myron Gaines, one of the co-hosts of the Fresh and Fit podcast, he was just minding his business, walking down the road, and all of a sudden this crazy black woman comes out of nowhere and starts going nude in front of him, swearing at him, going crazy. And today I want to dissect that video, and I want to go over the contradictions of society over what a woman can do in public and what a man can do in public and get away with it without being called crazy, foolish, or even being arrested. So without further ado, let's get into the video.
I have her titties out like you do.
I don't give a f***. They're gonna stay out because I don't f***ing like you. No, you're disgusting. Let's see how big your is. I think you have small energy. Tights are a little, the pants are a little tight. What the f*** are you wearing? You look like shit.
What's this creature, bro?
Yo.
Well, right off the bat, if a man was to show indecent sexual parts of his body off in public, people would have been going crazy, calling this guy a sexual assaulter, an abuser, a narcissist, sociopath. I'm not too sure what the laws are in America for showing off indecent parts of your body. But for sure, if a man was just walking around with his undies exposed, loads of people would be calling the police on him, both men and women. So for her to just be doing this and everyone acts like it's almost like it's normal, that just shows the inequality between men and women.
I'm your worst motherfucking nightmare.
Oh, wow.
I'm your worst motherfucking nightmare. A confident black. Here, look.
I'll tell you. Oh, wow. You're bald too.
Yeah.
Well, this does actually nothing for the confidence of women, actually, black women. She's saying she's a confident black peep, but really and truly, like, this is making black women look so bad. And the thing is, we've got to realize as black people, we're already not, stereotypically, we're not regarded as the most intellectually gifted race. We're not regarded with much respect around many communities. And then for her to be doing this, it just further perpetuates the stereotype of the crazy black person.
I got more hair than you.
Yo, she got a fade.
Yup, that's right, Myron.
fade, bro.
I can't stand you, a piece of
Oh, wow.
Everything you do is a piece of your is small.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't want to suck it. Even if you had it out, I don't want to suck that 10 million, I wouldn't you, Myron. You're a piece of Yeah, I don't give a
Like, just think about this, guys. If a man was to be going out there and doing the exact same thing to a woman, so basically the reverse of what she's doing, everyone would be getting onto this guy, calling the guy an absolute misogynist. But how come we're not calling what this woman is doing misandry? I cannot stress enough, if a man did this to a woman in public, I swear to God, the SWAT team or the police with guns and stuff would be coming down to get him if a man did that in London. And the internet would be going crazy.
Yeah, I don't give a You African. Oh, you're Sudanese. Nigga, you hungry. That's why you angry. You hungry. That's why you angry.
You literally look like an
African.
orangutan.
I'm angry. Like you, big nigga. You a nigga. Do you know what the you look like? You're a fucking, cause your fucking is ashy. Cause your is ashy. Cause your mama lives
This is just disgusting.
ashy. Cause your mama lives ashy.
And which one is
Cause
it?
your mama lives ashy. You a Sudanese monkey. Is that why you're angry?
I think you're the one that looks like
Is that why you're angry?
You're
I don't give a I don't give a So I'm a monkey and then what? What the you gonna do about it? I'm a
So-
monkey. Oh.
I don't personally call it racism when someone calls a black person a monkey because they're just describing someone. We can't call a description of a person racist, okay? Because this is a free country. So if I want to say someone looks like a certain animal or a certain car or a certain object, that isn't racism to me, okay? You're just describing what someone's looked like, and that's an opinion, okay? That's not racism, it's an opinion. I mean, some people look like pigs. I mean, literally, I've seen some people look like literal pigs, like their nose and the way their round face. I've seen people that look like a pig. Now, is that me being racist for calling them a pig? No. However, obviously, a lot of the times in the black community, black people take it as racism, being called a monkey. So for her to call herself a monkey is just ridiculous. And then take the mick out of it like it's a joke. Like that is nuts. Because even if I look like a pig, I wouldn't be doing oink oink oink.
What you gonna do? You go on the now you do it. You're hungry.
That was a good impression.
Myron, you're hungry.
That was a really good
He's
impression.
angry because he's hungry. Look at the hungry Africans. He's angry because
And let's be honest, you can say whatever you want about Myron Gaines and what he says in his podcast or whatever, but let's be honest, the guy has money. The guy's not poor, okay? So for her to just be like, oh my God, the guy's hungry. Just like, come on, man. The likelihood of Myron making more money than her right now is pretty much 100%. Come on, do better.
Hungry. He's Sudanese. They don't eat food. Yo, this is content. This nigga don't eat.
And that's not even a joke, okay? Some Sudanese people don't actually eat food. That's not even a joke, like, you get me? Some people in Africa do not eat food, not because of any result of their own. There's no jobs. Poverty is rife down there. I mean, real poverty is rife in Africa. And she's taking the piss out of her own people. Because I don't care if she's Caribbean or African American. If you're black, Africans are our people, okay? There's this big thing about African American versus Africa and Caribbeans versus Africans, and sometimes the people from outside of Africa say, I'm not African, I'm just Caribbean, I'm not one of them. No. You are one of them, bro.
Nigga, you need to eat. Stop being so angry. Where's your ugly black? Where's your ugly girlfriend?
And then some people are going to call him racist now for saying, where's the Bronx Zoo? And she was the one calling herself a monkey, okay? So he's just giving back what she is giving to herself, okay? Myron's just treating her the same way she's treating herself.
How much money? How much? You're coming with me. You coming with me, nigga. You're a taller monkey than me. You coming with me.
This is embarrassing.
You're a taller monkey than me.
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
Look at this motherfucker's tail.
What tail?
Do a 360, ho. Do a 360, ho.
You're dressed like that.
Myron, yo, my ho. Myron, my
Okay,
right now.
and this is what's crazy about it. The parody. She's the one dressed in knickers and a bra, and then also showing off her boobs to the public. And apparently Myron's a hoe.
Oh, Myron, my right now. Do a 360.
You
Do
look
a
crazy.
360.
You look crazy.
Nigga, do a 360. You my now.
Hey,
turn around.
You know what?
You my now.
It looks like
Do
a
a
Brooklyn
360.
This is
I don't
actual
give a
assault.
like
Like,
your mama.
she's invading his privacy.
Like your mama.
Yo, you
That's
got
right.
You got
That's
hair,
right.
bro.
That's your life now, nigga. It's your life now, nigga. It's your life now, nigga. You my Myron. Do a 360.
Wow. And as I'm watching this, I'm realizing this woman obviously has some sort of mental problem in her head. She's not all the way quite there, is she?
You got the AIDS, nigga. I'm a fat bitch. Where my shit?
Yeah, she's obviously got some sort of mental disorder where her brain's not working quite right. Some neurodivergence in there, some mental incapacities, some mental problems. Who knows, schizophrenia. Is she on drugs? I don't really think so. She's not giving me that druggy vibe. She's more giving me someone that hasn't got her mind quite in the right place. And it's sad for all the people that are there. No one's telling her to stop. If that was a man, the other guys would have went in there and white-knighted and stopped the man from doing that. And the girls would be screaming out saying stop. But because it's a woman, everyone's letting it run. And I know that she's got a mental disorder, and we need to treat this woman with grace, because really and truly she's not got the capacity more than a goldfish, clearly, because if someone that was in their right mindset wouldn't be dressing up in underwear and showing off her boobs to the public like this. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing for her family. This is embarrassing for her friends. This is embarrassing for black people as a whole. Do I feel sorry for her? Yes, I do, because she's clearly not all there. She's not ever going to live a normal life.
I'm healthy.
I can see that.
I'm healthy.
Too
I'm
healthy.
healthy.
Too healthy.
I'm a fat
Too healthy.
I'm the African monkey with AIDS.
You're confirming
Yes,
all the
my
stereotypes.
here's my life. Maybe you'll get
Confirming all the
smarter.
stereotypes.
You piece of
Okay, the only one putting down a black woman down here is her.
piece of trash now, Myron. You're trash. You are garbage.
Nasty.
It's good that garbage can laugh. Get this
Ugh.
cage.
And all this swearing, like every sentence has at least one swear word in it.
Get in your cage.
Doing a monkey.
Get in your cage. You're a monkey too.
She's doing her natural move.
You know how stupid you look at your past? Making fun of black girls. Your mother's a black. Your mama is a black. How much you hate black?
Now, I'm not too sure if Myron's mum even is black. I'm not too sure. I've done enough research on him.
Here, look at the titties they got. Ah.
That's disgusting.
My eyes burn. My eyes burn.
Ah,
My
nigga.
eyes burn. My eyes
But I gotta shout out Myron though for like
My eyes burn.
remaining
Wow. Look at your ass.
on frame.
Flat nigga ass.
my God.
Yourself look crazy.
And everyone's just looking at that and recording it. No one's saying nothing.
You trash,
Not
Myron.
one person saying to her to
You
stop
should have been
talking.
aborted. You should have been aborted.
I can't believe what I'm seeing over here. And that's not doing any favors at all to the black community as a whole. That's just perpetuating the stereotype that so many people have on us. And I don't personally believe in white privilege, but what I do understand is many people from many different communities, not all, look down on black people for exactly this type of reasons, okay? They look down on us because sometimes we act like that. Sometimes, a lot of the times, we are filling up the majority of the prisons. Obviously, there's reasons for that, which we won't get into right now, but that are the facts. And a lot of people from certain communities do not like us. And for someone to act like that from our community doesn't do us any favors whatsoever. And we need to be banding together as a community and saying that this is not okay. And we do not support that. I can't believe not one person has told her to stop. Not one. Now, Fresh and Fit, okay? Let's talk about them for a second here, okay? Now, do I believe a lot of what they say? Yeah, I believe a lot of what they say. Now, do I believe how they actually solve the problem? No, okay? The way Fresh and Fit try to solve the problem that they talk about on their podcast is just, it's not a long-term strategy. They purport to, oh my God, if a man is more powerful because he has more women. Now that obviously is true. But does that mean now that because men are more powerful because you have more women and, only successful men can have more women, we should do it? No. No. At the end of the day, I still believe in the traditional marriage, one partner for both genders. Just because a man is able to cheat while retaining his woman, if he's high value, doesn't mean that the man should make use of that power. Because if we look at the long-term life results of a family in terms of raising great kids and having a long-term great life as a spouse, it's better if you just stay faithful. I'm not even saying that from a moral point of view. I'm not even saying that from an ethical point of view. I'm not even saying that from a biological point of view, but I'm just saying what works. And what works is if both partners don't cheat and both partners have respect for each other in that way. Even though I do understand that men have the want and desire for options, but if you look at the long-term results here, it's just better if the man does not cheat, even though he can exercise that power. So a lot of the hate that Fresh and Fit get, I understand it. But at the end of the day, it's a free country and Fresh and Fit have the right to exercise their freedom of speech. So her chasing down Fresh in the middle of a street is not on. Let me be clear. This is abuse and harassment. And it's not okay for a law-abiding member of the public to be harassed and abused going about their daily lives, regardless of what you think about their opinions. Now, who affects communities more in a negative way? Fresh and Fit or that woman there? I would definitely say that woman there. Okay, Fresh and Fit can have whatever opinion they want. But at the end of the day, they're making their money, they work hard, and they don't make any certain community look bad. But her, through that video, the way she's comporting herself in that video, that, even as a black person, makes me feel sick. I do understand some of the anger going towards Fresh and Fit, not because of what they say, but because of how they want to solve the problem. I think the same thing can be said about people like Andrew Tate and Charlie Kirk, okay? Look, I can't prove if Andrew Tate is innocent or guilty for whatever he's doing. That, I always say innocent until proven guilty. End of story. However, the way Andrew Tate behaves himself is just, it's not conducive to making men any more powerful. And then with Charlie Kirk, is it his right to be able to go to the campus and sit down and verbally debate people, verbally debate the students on the campus? Absolutely yes. However, a criticism that he gets all the time is he's using people by going to those universities. He's just provoking people to get clickbait videos. And that is definitely true. Now, is it unethical and immoral what he's doing? No, it's not. Is what he's saying wrong? No, it's not. Is it false? No, it's not. I believe a majority of what Charlie Kirk is saying. However, the way he's playing it is like He does not need to go into campuses day after day after day. And from what I can see on YouTube, so I could be wrong, but in terms of what I'm seeing visually, anecdotally, as a person who's browsing the web, most of his content is just going there and just destroying, quote unquote, young people on the campuses. A lot of these young people, are they wrong on what they're saying? Absolutely. A lot of these young people, do they need to be educated more about what is right and what is actually true and real? Yes. But I just think the whole thing about going to university, it's just low class to me. I mean, someone I rate a lot more is someone like Jordan Peterson. A lot of what Jordan Peterson says is the same as Charlie Kirk, but the way he goes about it is just much more classy to me. And the problem that Andrew Tate, Charlie Kirk, Fresh and Fit, and all these other extreme red pill guys are talking about is correct. The problem that they're talking about is definitivamente correcto, okay? But the way they go about it to solve the problem is just not right at all. I believe in more of what Jordan Peterson is saying. And not because I want to believe what they're saying, not because it's the funnest or the most efficient route to winning in life, but because it's the only route to win overall. Okay, there is nothing better than a stable family, one parent, one dad, one mum, kids, no cheating from any party, and then that's it. There's something to be said about how strong that unit is. And what happens is, people like Andrew Tate and Fresh and Fit, they love to abuse their power and say, you know what, and Kevin Samuel said that as well, well, you know what, you should allow men to exercise their options because they can. And yes, of course, in a literal sense, they can exercise the options because those men are of such value that a lot of women wouldn't leave them even if they did. But just because you can do something and get away with it doesn't mean that you should. It's like this. If I said that you could rob the bank and 100% you would definitely get away with it, does that mean you should still do it? Absolutely not. You shouldn't, even though the banks are evil. And just because high value men are able to exercise the options, which they are, it is true, doesn't mean that they should. But the way Andrew Tate and Fresh and Fit go along about it, it's like, oh my God, he can do it, rah, rah. And that's where I get turned off from these guys, because their solution to the problem isn't the best solution at all. In fact, it's making people that don't even have the access to those solutions want to do it. Would I want to put my 5-year-old son, if I had one in front of Andrew Tate, for him to listen to? Not at all. However, there's a lot of things about Andrew Tate which I like. His ambition, his going out there, his dedication to his work. Like this guy, when he was fully allowed to be out and stuff like that before the whole Romanian incident, he works hard. That's not a lie. Say what you want, Andrew Tate. I don't know if he's guilty or not, but the guy works hard. The guy pushes out content like water gets pushed out into the Atlantic Ocean every single day. It's nuts. The guy works hard. Same thing as Fresh and Fit. They work hard. Look at how long their podcasts are, and they do this almost day in and day out. So those parts of these guys that I really appreciate and I really like, but the other parts where the solution to the problem just does not work. And that's where I side on things with people like Ben Shapiro, people like Matt Walsh, and people like Jordan Peterson, because their solution is great. I noticed that, as far as the internet can tell, Myron Gaines does not have wife and kids or is married, whereas Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson are. And a lot of times people like them, they bash on Jordan Peterson and Ben Shapiro for being a tradcon. Same thing as Rollo Tomasi. Oh my God, they're tradcons, and they just make that seem like a bad thing. And it's not. Traditional conservative for me is the best way of doing things. Just because I will be able to cheat when I get married doesn't mean I'm going to do it. It's not conducive. I mean, look at the other day. Look what happened to Shay and that snow bunny. Shannon Sharpe, a Super Bowl champion and host of a popular podcast, has been accused of sexual assault in a Nevada lawsuit. The lawsuit, who was brought by a woman who alleges Mr. Sharpe used his fame to manipulate, control, subjugate, and violate women. The accuser, who was 19 at the time she met Mr. Sharpe in 2023, says in a legal filing that the pair had a nearly 2-year relationship, during which time Mr. Sharpe was aggressive and allegedly raped her. Mr. Sharpe has denied the allegations and said he is a target of a shakedown. The suit seeks more than $50 million in compensatory and punitive damages. The accuser is the only person suing, and she does not provide details on her accusation that Mr. Sharpe hurt more than herself. Mr. Sharpe has 4 million subscribers to his Club Shay Shay podcast and is reportedly in negotiations on a $100 million deal for his network of shows. Now, he might lose all of that because of this case, okay? And do I think Shannon Sharpe is guilty in this situation? No, I don't. I really don't. And like I said, either way, innocent until proven guilty. We let the courts decide with what's going to happen to this man. But that being said, it just proves my point once again. Just because you become successful and now you're able to date younger women doesn't mean that you should. If you entertain the devil's heathenism, a lot of the times the devil's going to make you pay for it in a big way, okay? And now Shannon Sharpe is going to pay for it now, because regardless of whether he is innocent or not, the internet and society and all of his sponsors will now look down on him, okay? For a man to lose everything, it's not about being guilty, it's even to just having the allegation against you and the proof that is there that they could have happened, okay? Now, if Shannon Sharpe never was dating this woman, of course, this allegation would never make any sense. But Shannon Sharpe has put himself in a position of looking bad because to a lot of people, a 50-year-old man dating a 19-year-old looks bad. Now, is it illegal? No. Anyone can date anyone over the age of 18. But the way society views it is of a bad, evil thing. He has put himself in the situation of it by entertaining it to begin with. If he hadn't, this never would have come up. And let me tell you something. Was that 19-year-old intimacy worth the potential to losing everything? Hell no. Hell no. So we need to be careful entertaining the devil's heathenism just because you now have a privilege, which is dating younger women, doesn't mean that you should actually do it, okay? It's not the solution. So like I said, the solution a lot of these red pill guys are saying doesn't work and is not conducive to a long-term relationship and long-term future and a long-term great life. It does not work. And a lot of the times on these red pill shows, they say stuff like, men can exercise the options, men can date way younger. And it's true. No one's denying that. However, if you entertain it, you might have to pay the price. As you become more successful in a lot of things, you will get a lot of privilege. Like, you don't have to be nice to people anymore once you become rich because they're so desperate to please you and work for you. But that doesn't mean that you should. Just because you are now able to divorce your wife and get whatever girlfriend that you want because you've now made it, you're now rich, doesn't mean that you should. It doesn't work in the long term. And I've seen this over and over and over again. Just because you are now physically stronger than most people and you can beat them up doesn't mean that you should. It's not conducive to a long-term future. Just because you get loads of money and you can afford 10 cars in your garage doesn't mean that you should. Just because you're now a billionaire, you can now give your job and never work ever again, doesn't mean that you should. When you become successful, a lot of privileges will now be opening up to you. But the moment you start entertaining those privileges, let me tell you something, it's going to be your downfall.
He beat up black women. He's such a loser. He beats up black women. He beat up that black guy's podcast. And look at his for. What the fuck you shaking his hand?
Now she's getting onto a black guy.
He's garbage. You want to be garbage?
Black guy never talked to her. Black guy never approached her. But the way he's dealing with it isn't good.
That means yes.
Everyone can tell that this woman's not mentally all there. You shouldn't be dealing with her like this. You should be treating her like you would deal with like a 4-year-old. Because her mindset is clearly of like a 4-year-old, if that. So for him to come on this aggressive thing, further perpetuate the stereotype of what a lot of people think about us as black people.
Yes. That means yes.
Stop swearing as well. The swearing is just... Obviously, there's nothing illegal or wrong about swearing, but you should be trying to keep it to a minimum to have the best presentation to the world.
I see you again. My name's Gavin Lewis.
Trash.
But to be fair, he's minding his own business, but she's going on.
Can I do this one more time with you?
He beats up black women on his podcast. He literally beats on black women, and you have these fucking black.
To be fair, they are ignoring her.
Can I get my interview with Myron real quick?
He's a piece of shit.
Right.
If you want to be a piece of shit like Myron, interview this piece of shit.
Wow. This would be crazy.
Beat anybody.
If you want to be garbage, this is where you go. Nobody want to be student in this nigga. This bum.
Such an embarrassment.
This bum. This bum. How do you think this shit will go viral?
And see that white woman there? She's going to go back to her friends and family and she's going to be like, look at these black people. Look how foolish these guys are. And they're going to laugh us down. That's what's going to happen. Yeah, I don't like how the way this black guy's dealing with her, okay? Myron didn't come back with this aggressiveness, but he is. And it's a stereotype that black people are aggressive and physically abusive. And the way he's coming across... Nah, man. 2 black people fighting in a pub like this, isn't it? It's not a good look. Okay, look how... Out of all that time, this is so interesting. Look at all that time that we've been here, this position, right? Only now, within about 30 seconds of this man piping up, has someone intervened, okay? And she has come to intervene her fellow black woman here. I don't know how long she was there, but she could have intervened a long time ago before any man got involved in this. But she's now only intervening when a black man jumps in, okay? If she was really caring about her black people, she would have thought, my God, this is embarrassing us. Look at all these white people. Look at them. Look at all these white people looking down at us for behaving like this. Look at how they're laughing at us and look how they're going to send that through WhatsApp and social media. You know, it's better I just pull this black woman aside and say, you know what, babe, you know, you're acting really bad here. You know what I'd do? I'd actually take her to a local store, buy her a cheap little shirt and some trousers or whatever and let her go on her way. Because this is just not the look. But it's funny. Look at the timing. She's only jumping in now. The fellow black woman is only jumping in now when a man, okay, is now hyping up. But when she hyped up for almost 10 minutes now, it was all okay.
Like your mama. Look at this bro nigga. Look at this nigga.
Pull your keys out.
Look at this bro nigga.
Pull your keys out.
With this
Keys out.
This is comedy to them, man.
Pull your keys
to the
out.
shelter.
Pull your keys
To
out.
the shelter, nigga.
Keys to
Go
the
to your
shelter.
shelter.
I look
Your
like I live at
curfew,
the
nigga. Your
I look
curfew,
like I live at the
nigga.
shelter.
To your shelter.
I look like I
Go to
live
your
at the
shelter.
And even still, she's still there like she's confused. She should have said to the black woman, listen, you're behaving foolishly. And I would also say to the black man, you're behaving foolishly too. Stop this nonsense. This is embarrassing. This is why a lot of black businesses don't thrive, because who wants to come into a black business when the stereotype is black people act like this? Okay, I'm not saying most black people act like this. I'm saying the stereotype is. I'm not saying most black businesses are bad or run badly. I'm saying this is the perception white people, Asians have of us, because look at the way we're behaving all over social media. Why would I want to go into a black Korean restaurant when this is what I see on YouTube? Sometimes when you're dealing with people that are obviously saying things that are wrong, sometimes you got to show them some compassion and some love and some grace, even though you're right. And at that point, you really start to become a man, because you take away your own need to be right for the greater good. And this is one of those moments. He is obviously right. Myron is obviously right. She's obviously dressed badly. She's crazy. They're right. But that doesn't mean you throw all that hate back on her. It's not conducive, okay? It's like having a problem child. Just because you have a problem child doesn't mean you call them evil, bad and wrong. You show them love, grace and care and tenderness. Maybe the tenderness they don't get from anyone else. from their own parents, just like this woman over here. Clearly, this woman hasn't been raised in a loving, caring environment. A person who's been raised in a loving and caring and tender environment does not act like this. So to throw that back on her is immoral. Because they know the power they have over her. He knows, damn right, he's smarter than her, both in mental and emotional and intellectual capacities. But he's overusing that privilege. And it is a privilege because no one gets to choose how smart they are to now attack her back. It's like if a kid comes up and starts punching me, I'm not going to beat him up because he's a kid. Like, I know I can beat him up. I'm just going to be push him to the side and do some self-defense. I'm not going to, punch him hard when his nose starts bleeding. Whereas if a man my own size was trying to attack me, then I'm going to beat him up and show him what's right because he's a real threat, okay? When someone's not a real threat like that, you don't have to use your full force against them. And he's using his full force and his privilege to beat them up, even though she's the weaker one. Not in physicality, which she is, but more so in an emotional and intellectual capacities. Now he's shouting louder than her. Nuts. I can't watch this anymore. So look, in general, guys, we need to band together as a black community and we need to stop this kind of foolishness from happening. Okay, I should be having the comment section. Let's have a look at the comment section right here. The comment section, without me even looking at it, should be composed of other black people saying this is crazy. Why aren't we stopping this kind of stuff from going on as a black community? But really and truly, people are getting on to her. Prove Myron is right. She sure did manage to change everyone's mind about black women. Black fatigue is real, so tired of this shit. It's crazy how she proved Myron right 100%. Women defending her is cringe. Why black women are the most unmarried people. It's crazy how that one black girl can run her mouth, scream and yell for hours saying anything she wants, but the second another black dude starts matching her energy, all of a sudden, he's the aggressor of madness. Where is black people stepping in there and saying, oh my God, black people, let's band together. Let's help our people, man. It's not there. It's not there at all. The two problems I have is black people not having the grace towards this woman and then also not supporting people that aren't all the way there. And then two, the kind of hypocrisy that if a black man started acting like that, my God, he would have been pinned down to the floor, just like George Floyd. But her, well, a woman can get away with anything, right? Oh, they sure can. This is the Hezron Springer Show. I'll see you in the next one.